Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for making time to come to our studios.
Thank you. Alaikum salam. Thank you for your invitation.
Yeah.
And also, it is an honor for me to be here as your guest, as Iranian guest, and share my ideas with you.
Okay. We are the ones who should actually be telling you that we are honored to have you, because
That's very kind of you.
yes. So to begin with, just for the listeners' sake, maybe you introduce yourself and tell us the position you actually hold.
Okay, thank you. My name is Dr. Nilufar Muqaddami, and I am a university scholar. I'm working as assistant professor in Women Research Center in Az-Zahra University. It is a specified university for women and girls in Iran, in capital city Tehran. And I specifically work on human rights of women and family. It is my specialty. And I work with several institute and organizations which focuses on women's and families' issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something that actually caught my attention where you mentioned a women's university. So is it the Zahra one?
Az-Zahra, yeah.
Zahra. Is it the only one, or
no?
many
We have
other
several. We have several universities specified for women. But Az-Zahra University is one of the most important and famous universities in Iran, and has several fields, in engineering, in humanities, in medical care also. It has so many fields and so many branch of science.
Okay. So as a professor, what exactly drew your attention to human rights?
Actually, there are several aspects for human rights, and especially for women, girls, and family issues, subjects. But you want to know what's the most
specifically? Yes, specifically. Why did you choose that? Why did you?
Because I think that we need, especially the developing countries and the least developed countries, because they faced with several accusations about the violation of women's and families' rights in international, for example, organizations like UN organs. We need to empower our women and girls in this special field, in human rights of women and family, to defend our ideas, to defend our perspective. Most of the accusation against Iranian government in the field of women and family is centered about Islamic rules. And I actually myself want to be a human rights activist for women and family in Iran, to defend my idea, to defend Islamic idea about women's rights.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe for better understanding, what's the population rate, women against men in Iran?
They are approximately equal,
Okay.
Women and men as a population are equal, but in some decades maybe the number of women increased than men.
Okay.
But in total view, they are approximately equal in population.
And something else, I understand that in Iran, women actually hold high positions.
Yeah.
And actually, you were among the very first countries to actually recognize that women need to be in these top positions.
Yep.
Okay?
Exactly.
So, why did you think that was really necessary to begin with? And how was the whole situation of you guys deciding that we need to empower these women? How was it taken at first?
After the Islamic Revolution, according to leaders of the revolution, Imam Khomeini, and after him, Imam Khamenei, it is it was and it is and it will be the emphasis on women's empowerment in the social and civilizational aspects of life for women. They too, our leaders, try their best to promote women's status without any emphasis on their sexuality. You know, they want to create an environment for women to have a safe environment to act, to be active and to do anything that they want according to law and regulations. I mean, to follow their careers, to follow their desires, and to achieve lots of success and positions in social era, to show their character and to show their abilities and capabilities. So I think it's a good situation and chance for Iranian women after the Islamic Revolution in 1979 that they experience a safe and good environment to progress. Without selling their bodies, without showing their sexual attractiveness, they can have anything they want. They can educate. They have higher education, for example, opportunities. They can be, for example, a representative in legislation branch. They can have any possible political, economic, or social position they want to have equally to men.
And generally, what impact has it had on maybe the government's political aspect or the social aspect generally as a country? What impact has it had for you guys to empower women?
I believe that men and women have their own perspective, the unique perspective.
Yes.
The female one has her special perspective, and the male one has his own.
True.
So when we use both of them in the social and political or economic position, we can enjoy and we can have both perspectives.
Yes.
This complementary view helps us to build a better society, a better nation. I think the Islamic Republic has this chance to benefit from women's, leadership, women's entrepreneurship, women's activity within these eras, and it gives Islamic Republic the opportunity to build a nation with both women and men ability.
Yeah. So over the years, since you said the whole revolution started in 1979, right?
Yeah.
Of course, with everything that has been introduced, any new thing, when they're introduced, it has its negative aspect, and it will have its positive aspect. Yeah. Okay? So the years that you've been in this field, for all those years that you've been in this field, what has been your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge for Iranian women, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I never claim that we don't have any problem in Iran. Women are very good at their rights. But we are in progress. Some laws may restrict women's activity that they need to be amended. And I think the most important things for Iranian women, a challenge, is to make real balance between their familial role and social role. Most of the women, Iranian women, work outside the home, and they actually are responsible for their families, for their children. They do themselves the home chores, and also they work outside the home. They work as, for example, government. I forget the word in English. They work for several sectors, private or public. But their problem is to balance between family and social affair. You know, after a day working outside home, they are so fatigued, and it is hard to
balance
work. Yeah, to work at home when all other family members came to home. They don't have anything to do. You know, they were active during the day outside the home. They are, for example, the children are at a school or in universities. The man of the family also work outside the home, and when the whole family members come back to home, they have no responsibility. Just the mother of this family has responsibility to prepare dinner for the members, to, for example, washing dishes or washing the clothes, and to plan for tomorrow's meal, for example, for children. I think this is overburden on women's shoulder. You know?
And that has actually been the biggest concern.
Yeah.
When it comes to men, they actually think and they believe that women at the moment cannot actually, what do I say, are not able to actually balance these two.
Yeah.
And
it's so hard for
very
every
hard
person. Yeah.
Yes, it's very hard.
Regardless of their gender.
Yes. So as much as the 21st century woman actually wants to prosper in her profession as well, we have to understand as well that in between there is someone who is going to get affected, and it's the next generation, where there is so much detachment. I don't know, detachment, like
separation.
Yes, the kids are not in a position to actually enjoy the present. Like 20 years ago, us, we enjoyed that. But as we go on in the next 10 years, we don't know the kind of generation we are actually going to have. So as much as we are actually fighting for the women's rights, the human rights and all that, do you think we've actually forgotten that there is a child who actually is depending on us at the moment?
Yeah,
I don't know what you think of it.
It is the reality of our world. And you know, after the first traditional model of women role that restricts women to family role, as a woman who just childbear, just child rearing, or a person
and
who
care of the
should
husband.
be at service for men.
Yes.
After industrialization era in the Western country, we have the second model based on the feminist idea, which makes women flee from family. You know, they escape from family formation to have babies. And even in Western countries, the women who have children, they prefer to have outside job and to leave children in kindergartens, for example, or some other places. Yeah, exactly. And these children suffers from not having or enjoying real family, mother or father's love. But after the revolution, this idea of the third model suggested to the world that we should prepare, as government, we should prepare condition and situation for women to have their own specified works environment, which is family oriented. You know, women should have this opportunity to work with their children. So we should prepare some areas, some environments inside the working places for women to keep their children near their office.
Is that the situation in Iran?
Yeah, some
Most offices?
some organizations prepare this situation.
Okay.
Some, especially most of the general and public organizations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, women have the right to feed their children and equal to this time, this time breaking. They have payments. You know, the government doesn't cut their budget. Don't do this for them. Or we have the, you know, I forgot the word for this. After the pandemic, the new version of education suggested to the world that people can stay at home and attend the classes online. You know,
yes.
Yeah. This is the situation for women's work in Iran, so they can sometimes work from home. You know, they don't need to be present physically at workplaces. They can have this opportunity to work at home and, for example, give their results or, you know, what they have to present the job activity. You know, they can do it at home. And then gave the results to their boss or send it through email. This is an opportunity. That opportunity have a good effect on children. You know, these opportunities make children have this space with their families, with their mothers especially. So they are together in workplaces or at home. And with this company, women do their jobs, do their education.
Okay, so as we still remain on this uprising of the woman who wants to be career-oriented as well, as we still remain there, do you think us as Muslims, because I believe it started in the West, where the girl child was allowed to actually be educated, and the woman or the mother also going to work and all that. It started from the West. Do you think us as Muslims, and are we trying to emulate them as well, to become like them, to try and compete with them? Because there is one scenario where they say women are trying to compete with men. To the highest level of positions.
Yeah.
There is that ruling. Let me call it ruling. But at the same time, there is this other ruling where most Muslims actually believe that we are trying to emulate the behaviors of the West. So, where do you think, as Muslim women, we should be able to draw the line and try as much as possible, as much as we also want to be career-oriented and all that, we try as much as possible not to emulate the non-Muslims, because we are told in the Quran, we are told in the Hadith as well that we are not supposed to do that. So where should we exactly draw the line so that we do not abuse the freedom as well?
Yeah, I know. You know, it is important to make priority for ourselves. Which one is more important? To build a society or to build a family and educate our own children? If every woman try to educate her own children to keep her own family, I think we have a best society. Because the motherhood is a non-replaceable role.
Yes.
No one can do anything that mother can do.
True.
No. But in society, in workplaces, there are several people that can do the job, so rather than their gender or any status, you know. So I believe that we should put a line between these two. As a woman, it depends on every person. You know, it is not a obligation on every Muslim woman. No, Every Muslim woman should judge herself. If I can be a good mother, if I can manage my family, and then with this situation, I can go outside the home and do something extra for the society, then this is the obligation of that woman to go outside the family and do social things. But as a woman, if I can't do anything more than my family, this is my priority to keep this family, to educate, to nurture, to rear. So this is a difference between us and the Western model, Western women. They can sacrifice their families and their children to have any possible success in society, but they insist to have this success. But we want to be successful in our family. So our family and our children are our priority. So we insist on our family. When we keep our family safe, then when we have the extra time, we have the extra capability and the power, we should go outside the home. We should go into society and rebuild it according to our characteristics, perspectives, and capabilities.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so what are some of the measures maybe the Islamic Republic of Iran has actually put in place to safeguard the rights of women?
Yeah, okay. I can refer to some figures. These three books that your audiences can't see here, about women's status, according to UN reports and international reports, about women's status in Iran and other countries. It's a comparative study. We made ourselves, I am one of the co-writer of this book. The title of the book is Jahan Banu in Persian, which means the Lady of the World.
Okay.
It has 3 volumes, and each volume focuses on some parts of women's rights, achievements, or violations. In the first volume of this book, there are several figures, statistics, and numbers that shows the women's status in Islamic Republic of Iran and also the status of women all around the world. So I'm going to read some of the achievements of the Islamic Republic of Iran in the women's issue. One of the most important achievements of Islamic Republic of Iran is to increase the number of women in high political, social, and economic positions. We have representative in executive branches and also in judicial branches. We have some women judge in our judicial branch. Another example.
You actually have do you actually have them serving at the moment?
Yes.
In those positions.
Yeah.
Even in the judicial. So
you
just want it to be increased.
Yeah, we have female judges in Iran.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah, yeah. Okay. Another field is education of women. The number of girls who go to university, they have their higher education. In the PhD level, there are several. The percent of women's partnership in higher education is 56%, in comparison with men who are 44%.
Is it?
Yeah. The girls' rate is higher than men's. Or to, for example, working era, or let me say, in legislative force, we have several women. I have a figure here. the comparative analysis of women's advancement in the environment field. It's a comparison between Islamic Republic of Iran and United States. I will show you. Yeah, here's. It's according to international statistics and figures. You know, the maternal morbidity in Iran is 4.17%, but in United States it's 5.9.
Okay.
Or academic education, women's are 56. In United States it's 60. Women prisoners are lower than United States in Iran. The suicide rate is lower than United States. Teaching in universities is in progress, and the number of professors increasing during years. Life expectancy, the age of women, is 81 years for Iranian women, but in United States it's 78.
You should share the secrets later on.
Unemployment, 57 of Iranian women are employed, but in United States this statistics shows 17.
Okay. So you just had a women's conference in Nairobi, I think 2 days ago. In the Cultural Council of the United States. Cultural Council, you were invited.
Yeah, I was invited.
Yes.
By the Cultural and Islamic Advertisement Organization, which is the one of the organs in Islamic Republic of the Iran, which focuses on, cultural diplomacy between nations.
How was it?
That was so good. The speakers were brilliant. They share the best ideas about the women's situation in Islamic and Abrahamic also ideas, and they promote the situation of women in literature, of academic literature.
And I think I was present there, and most of the people and most of the speakers spoke about how they would want to see how a woman basically is going to be motivated in the community in the recent years. Do you think it's actually doable?
Yes, it is possible, I think.
And how are we exactly going to change the perspective of this man who actually thinks that women are neglecting their duties in the whole family setup? How do you think it's going to be possible?
So it's hard. It's so hard, to change the adults' ideas. For example, men's in Islamic culture, in tradition, or in some your cultural tradition, But first of all, we should investigate on, have investment on the next generation. Muslim women today should educate their sons, their male children, with correct ideas. They should be educated as a right way, in a right way. But
I like that. I like that.
Yes.
Because, sometimes maybe our focus is only on the girl child. And we actually forget that this boy child also is used to a specific kind of advice and what they've actually seen growing up and all that. So we need to also concentrate on this boy child to change that mindset.
Exactly.
So that's why we probably have failed as women, because we haven't really...
Because always we focus on the girls educating, but the boys are also important for us.
Yes, because we need to change their mindsets as well. Okay, so moving forward, what would be, maybe the parting shot, what would be your advice on this career woman who sometimes probably would feel overwhelmed about everything that is happening, and she is trying to balance between being a wife, being a mother, and being a career woman as well?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
would be your advice?
Okay, first of all, I advise them to take a deep breath, to be relaxed, and then to think themselves that what is the most important things for them. Their own careers, their own desires to be the most successful woman, for example, at work, at education, or to educate the next generation with high quality, content. Then I ask them not to lose their job or exit the job. No, to keep their job, but get some help, in childbearing, in child rearing, in child nurturing, in doing house chores. They should give some help. They should give. Yeah, they should.
And encourage.
They should have some help from others. For
Yes.
example, their mothers. One of the speakers at the conference
Yes, yes.
focuses on the broad family formation and said that in a nuclear family we have no chance to have our grandmothers and grandfathers to protect our child. In an extended family, it is a chance for a family to have a nanny,
Yeah.
a grandma as a nanny, for example, or grandfather as a nanny, to keep the children, to protect the children while the couples go outside the home and work outside the home. So after taking a deep breath to be not stressful, then thinking about our special role in life, and then having some help, I suggest them to talk with their husbands, because they are half of their lives.
Yeah.
They are complementary. They have complementary roles with each other. They need to talk to each other. They need to to solve the challenges. She should be honest with her husband and said that what I need, what should I have, and what can I do for the family. Then I think most of the problems can vanish.
Okay. So we said we are not focusing only on the girl child,
Yeah.
and the advice we keep on giving to her all the time.
Yeah.
We want to also focus on the boy child. So what would be your advice as well to the boy child in future, who is going to be a father, who is going to be a husband? How to incorporate this whole idea of maybe in future I'm going to be with an educated woman, a career-oriented woman. How should I be able to handle it? What kind of advice would you give such a man who
At
maybe
first
probably is listening to you?
Yeah. At first I believe that the most important thing for boys is to study the behavior of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be
Sallallahu
upon
alayhi wa
him,
sallam.
sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and our A'imma or Ahlul Bayt, according to A'imma, Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, how they treat, how they behave with their wives, with their children, girl children, how they respect them, how they keep their dignity. They are our role models. If we obey their rules and follow their traits and behavior, I think the world gonna be a utopia. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this generation, we mothers, should show our children the real Islam. In real Islam, woman has dignity. She has the right to education, the right to advancement, the right to work, and the right to independence in properties. So some people think that if the woman go outside the home and bring some money, she should pay to family. But women are independent in their properties. The Islam says women are independent and man should be breadwinner.
Yes. True.
To pay for the family. This is not the obligation of a woman to pay for her family, but if she prefer to do this, it's on her own. Yeah. If we show the real Islam on the rights of the women, on the rights of the men, and also on their obligation for together. I have an obligation as a wife to my husband.
Yes.
And he has some obligations to me. And also I have some rights. He has some rights too. With a cover of morality and ethics, we can respect each other's rights and responsibilities. And we can educate our child or our children with these corrected models. I think it could be helpful. Yeah.
Okay, so Moha, kutoka hapa ninamrudisha nyuma kidogo, so uta-edit hapo katikati, sawa? So I'll take you back a bit because there's something very important you've just mentioned right now.
Okay.
I'd want you to talk about it, so we will fix it somewhere in between.
Okay.
So, Professor, there's something very important I'd like you to talk about, the issue of the rising cases of divorce at the moment. This, in all honesty, began with, or when a woman started working. There has been disconnect in marriages between spouses, and there has been disconnect as well between mother and the child.
The child, yeah.
Yes.
The custody, you mean?
Yes, yes.
After the divorce?
No. Just the disconnect, the disconnect between the child and the mother we spoke about already. And you said something about the priorities, the woman has to make priorities and all that. But there is the disconnect between the spouses as well, because both of you are leaving the house probably at the same time, coming in the evening, and as a mother, as a wife, you still have some obligations in the house as well. So it's like you're starting from scratch again when you reach the house. So also about that, moving forward, how are we supposed to deal with that? And do you think actually divorce rate is going higher by the day because the women have actually neglected their households?
The divorce rate in my country is based on several factors, not just working of women or their independence. Some of the time, in some situation or condition, the couples get divorced because they don't understand each other. They have no common ideas or ideology. So they can't continue their lives. Some of these marriages ended because, for example, one of the couples, I don't want to emphasize that almost all cases are about men, but they would be separated because one of the couples is, for example, addicted or have misbehavior, beat the other one. Physically beat, I mean. Some of the marriages end because they have economic problems and they can't continue because they don't have enough money. But some of the marriages end because, the woman wants to have outside career. She doesn't want to have any responsibility for children and family. She doesn't want to have a familiar role. Then the man said, why should I continue this kind of family? Are you even at home? I can see you. You just come for sleeping. So, at this situation, some men preferred to end this marriage, and they got divorced. What about the separation between mother and children? We should refer to the rules of custody. In Iran, according to the regulations, we call civil law, the children, both girls and boys, until their age 7, are granted to their mother. And after the age of 7, the judge decided, according to the interest of the child, which one of the parents are better for the children. And they also asked the child, do you prefer to stay with your mother or with your father?
At 7?
Yeah, at the age of the 7. From 7 years old to 18 years old, they are under the custody. From 0 to 7, they are also under custody, but under the custody of the mother. Even the mother, despite the situation that the mother doesn't want to have the custody. In this situation, they give this custody to father. But automatically, in normal situation, the custody refers to mother. They give the custody to mother from the 1 month old to 7 years old, both girls and boys. So, after the 7, the judge, the family court judge, decide to which one is better. The mother is better or the father is better for the children, for child education, rearing, economy, and best interest. And then ask the child, do you prefer which of them, your mother or your father? And at the same time, when the children stay with for one of them, mother for example, the father has the right to visit his children at the end of the week, in weekends, for example. This refers to the situation of that family. The judge decide to have 2 times visit during the week, or 1 time, or even less than these meetings.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Hope
Thank
you had
you too.
a lovely interview.